If I had to describe Sekiro in one word, it would be exhilarating. Times 100. I mean, who doesn't love a samurai ninja kind of guy? But there's a reason it's the game of the year of 2019. The single player combat looks so deceivingly simple, yet it's so complex and majestic. Every fight is a dance. Any mistake by either you or your opponent spells out certain death. This is Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Well, more like a shadow genocide, because no matter how good you think you are, you're going to die plenty of times. There's a lot of enjoyable multiplayer fighting games out there. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, even Smash Bros, you name it. The main appeal of these online games is to pit you against people from around the world to test your skills and come out on top of everyone else, and also to laugh at people who live in salt. But Sekiro is single player. Although every boss is such a fun fight that you'd believe me if I told you that they were controlled by some mechanical automaton thing that sits behind your computer to try and beat you. When you first start your playthrough, you can just hack and slash, dodge or block whenever they try to hit back. This works pretty well for the first part of the game, except for this guy, but that doesn't count. Especially since your character is extremely overpowered. He can run forever, attack forever, and he's immune to everyone's favorite enemy, gravity. Or maybe not. Even if you do die, there's a revive mechanic, where you can just get up again at least once after you die. And trust me when I say that you will get familiar with this mechanic. It's fun swinging around like Spider-Man, weaving around enemy shots and chucking shuriken at them. The enemies are blinder too, apparently. Then you make it to this guy again, and he will kick your ass. Now the real game begins. You then realize just how overpowered your enemies are too. Unlike other games like the Soul series or Monster Hunter, just dodging the enemy's attacks right before they land, then hitting back just doesn't cut it anymore. And this guy, he is going to drill it right into your brain. He's too fast to hit back, too aggressive to dodge, so you have to learn the power of deflection. Once you get the hang of that sweet deflection, you can deflect any women that come your way, in-game of course. And deflecting is a much more rewarding experience than just running in loops around your opponent. It turns into a back and forth clash of swords, where you're up close and personal with your opponent. Deflection works by blocking right as your opponent's attack is about to land, kinda like a parry or a counter. It's like a rhythm game inside a fighting game. In Sekiro, every enemy in the game is a posture bar. This bar fills up whenever the enemy gets hit or blocks an attack from you, and once that bar fills up, they are stunned, giving you a massive opportunity to land a killing blow. Some enemies require multiple killing blows to put down, so you have to take their posture down multiple times while also watching out for yours too. What, you thought you weren't a part of this? Deflecting also fills up the opponent's posture bar, and as a bonus, pulling off deflections won't stagger you. This makes for fluid, flowing gameplay, as there is a direct clash of blades between opponents, rather than just you waiting for an opening from a typical slow enemy. It's a matter of timings where one mistimed deflect will kill you. The bosses, they're hard. It's by From Software of course. There's a huge variety of bosses throughout Sekiro. Some of them are simply a battle to the death between two warriors. Others are a beautiful spectacle that defies all realism, or a horrifying test to survive. And then you have these crappy monkeys you have to chase. Each boss requires you to adapt to their fighting style. Low sweeps require you to jump over them. You can counter thrust by stepping on the blade, which is pretty sick. Whether it's playing the waiting game for the perfect opportunity to strike back, or finding the perfect balance between aggression and defense, you're going to have fun, and also die trying to adapt. But when you do master your skills, home from dying and dying and dying again and again and again, you're in. That's pretty much the entire process. Hit a roadblock, improve your skills, finally win. Uh-oh, he has a third phase. Then you get stuck again. Every boss is a new and refreshing experience that deviates from the typical formula of just slaughtering everything that stands in your way, and finally overcoming something you've been struggling with through pure determination and endless fight just makes it all the greater. Unfortunately for you, there's no difficulty settings. Well, actually there is. You've just been playing the game on easy the whole time. You haven't realized it yet. With other games, you can just level the heck out of your characters to one-shot any boss you come across, but doing so robs you of the challenge and excitement of overcoming your weaknesses, and it feels unfair for the boss. That's not how it works in Sekiro. You can level up by collecting these beads, which are only dropped by boss type enemies. So when you get stuck, you're really stuck. You can't just run around and upgrade your character endlessly. The only thing you can upgrade is your skill, through trial and error, which means the bosses remain fun and challenging. Sekiro has a deceptively decent amount of customization. There's various gadgets which you can use to suit your playstyle or the situation you find yourself in, like fireworks. Oh, and Happy New Year by the way. A spear, axe, umbrella, and these can be upgraded to increase their effectiveness. Don't forget the amazing atmosphere and scenery too. Each place is special in its own way, and it adds to the combat atmosphere to make it even more memorable and interesting. Take this temple for example, where you fight some effed up monks who sacrifice children, children to gain some form of messed up immortality. It's goddamn brutal, and the music captures it so perfectly. A disfigured form of Buddhism. Some of the boss fights feel so personal too, whether it's a battle of ideals against your own father, or a test of skill against a living legend. Every fight is all part of the anime. So go play Sekiro. Now, it's not a request, right now. I don't care if you finished already, go go go.